What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Uh, Alright, welcome, my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I'm Hana, your demonic cinephile. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, we're gonna get. Okay, the game's back. I have no idea why that happened. But, yes, hello! Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, can you go? Hello, can you go? I'm being stupid. Welcome, my goblins, ghouls, demons, witches, and loopers of the internet. I'm Hanyo, your demonic cinephile. And we are once again going back into Higurashi. It's been a minute since we did this one. So, this is Meikashi-hen? Meikashi-hen. I always forget how you pronounce this one. It is. Let me see. Wait, it doesn't tell me I'm here? Why doesn't it tell me I'm here? Once again. Yeah, Meakashi. I know I had to be mispronouncing that. I know it. Most on some level, I am mispronouncing that. But yeah, it's been a while since we did this one. Like a little over a week, I think. It was strange. Well, yes and no. I want to try to finish up the Umineko first episode before we do all of Higurashi next, or finish the Higurashi. I don't know. I'm tired. I ate a little too much and now I'm feeling tired. Not a good feeling. Should have just done push-ups before I started. Let's get my energy back up. Too late for that. Yeah, we're gonna stream a little bit, probably like an hour and a half, maybe, just to get some of the story out of the way. And then I must bid you a farewell, so I have more things to do. Huh, that's a good one. Must bid you adieu because I have more things to do. Yeah, I want to get a couple more words out for Namaramo. I did. I started the chapter 2 or episode 2. I don't know. It's going to be a visual novel whenever I have the time and the resources to, get it done. What's the screen so build up? Let's see. Yeah, I only got 600 words in so far for the opening of chapter 2. I'm loving it though. Because I want to try to get another segment into it. And I'm calling them episodes, not chapters, because like I said, it's going to be a visual novel whenever the final product is done. The visual novels don't really go by chapters, they kind of go by episodes, from what I can tell. So, I'm calling them episodes for the current moment. I have the prologue done, episode 1 is done, and episode 2 we just started. So I cannot wait, I'm so excited. Again, this is just gonna be the rough draft. The story will not get made for a while. After this, I'm gonna start working on my novella. I guess I only call it a novella because it's kind of short, like a novella. I'm gonna finish that, and whenever I feel that that is ready, then I'm gonna start doing the process of making that a reality. So it's gonna be a lot of saving monies. Hopefully, making some money on Twitch and YouTube. Finding the right light district in the right area and doing lots of favors from a couple lonely men who who might like a little Hanyo to keep them company. Who knows? I I don't know. Maybe I can start an OnlyFans. You guys interested? That's some weird feet pic. Come on, tell me. I'll do it. I will do it. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I need that money. I need it. Your Hanyo needs his money. Like I'm being stupid. Alright, let's start the story. So, this one, and this timeline, or I guess I can just let the cat out of the box. This fragment. We are following Shion. and Shion just escaped the clutches of Saint Lucia, where Kazai has drove her off to Okiyamiya. She met with her uncle that runs Angel Mart, and she knows everything about the curses that's been happening. But this is taking place in 82, right before Satoshi killed his aunt, and right before he disappeared as well. So this is going to kind of show what happens there, fill in those missing gaps from the game board. So let's get back onto it. It stretches out a little bit. I cannot. Oh well. Oh, what the heck is this? As again, I'm trying to rearrange my screen here. I put this like this. No. There we go. That works. Now put this in the corner right here. There we go. Does it tell me when I last saved? It doesn't? I thought the other games did that, but who knows? It's not important. Oh yeah, Sunday, October 9th. Oh yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, stupid apartment inspection. Took a time where I've been working and playing with hanging out with you guys. And again, they just came in today. They're so stupid. I hate these people. They're not bad people, but they're just annoying. They just knock on the door in the middle of when I'm cooking dinner. It's like, oh hey, can you look around? Sure, yeah. I've been waiting for that. And they come around, look in the kitchen, look at the hallway, look into my room, look in the bathroom, then look in my mom's room. I'm not sure why. I probably won't recommend because she's sick, she doesn't feel good. And like, okay, this is all we need. And then he just left. I mean, I wanted to tell them about the broken oven, maybe get the oven fixed, or I can actually start cooking things in it again. But you know what? I don't want to. These guys just don't care. The last time the oven broke on us, they tried to make it seem like it was our fault, and then they took like 2 weeks or so thing for them to get the part to fix it. How about throwing out here? The thing is over fucking 20 years old. How about you just mandatorily fix it for us? Just call us one day saying, Hanyo residents, we know your oven is really old and out of date. So please pick a time of your convenience for us to come to your apartment and replace it for you. Please have a nice day. I can't even do that. They can't even do that. I'm sorry, I'm rambling about my stupid living situation. Let's start the story.
奇病ってのはお昼だと思うけどね。
Oh, that's right. So, right before we ended, so I think Shion and Mion are talking. They met for a little sisterly bonding time. I don't think the bit about the illness is true.
急死したってのは本当。
But his death was very sudden.
神主さんは綿流しの準備で大変だったと思うし、あの頃は少し体調を崩してたみたいだからね。
The priest was busy preparing for the festival, and he gotten sick around that time.
急性心不全とかそういう感じのよくあるやつだったんだと私は思ってるけどね。
So I guess he died of a heart attack or something.
でも綿流しの日にってのが異常でしょ?
But it's just crazy that somebody died on the day of Watanagashi again.
それも3年連続で。
It's the third time in a row.
普通に考えたら人の死が今日も同じ日に重なるなんてことは考えられない。
That so many people have died on the exact same day.
警察も検視したみたいだけど、その後に特に騒がなかったってことは死因に不審な点はなかったってことじゃないの?
The coroner didn't find anything unusual about the cause of death. So nobody suspected that anything was wrong.
まあでもシオンの言う通り 人の死が3年も続いて綿流しの日に重なると、
But
やっぱり普通じゃないって思うね。
you're right that the whole situation is abnormal.
それに、さっきお姉も言った通り、お社様にたたられそうな人ばかり開始する。
Only the people who were likely to be cursed died on the day of the festival.
これは絶対に何かあります。
There must be something behind this.
たたりでも陰謀でも、とにかく絶対裏に何か因果関係がある。
Whether it be a conspiracy or a curse, there has to be. Oh, that's a nice shot. It's nice. I decided to meet up with Mion at the library near Okuyamiya train station. That's a nice looking library. I mean, I'm not a planned person, but even I have to appreciate the sight. It's not that I don't trust Mion, but I don't want to let her know where I live. Not many people use this library, so I won't see anyone from Hinamizawa here. The same library she met it with Keiichi in episode 2. It's very convenient for meeting someone in secret. After we discussed my life plan and work schedule, we moved to small talk. I've been away from this town for years. Things have changed. I asked Mion about those changes in detail in order to fill in the gaps. Well, I'm talking about... I had turned my eyes when I clicked. Did I miss something? I didn't. While talking about various things, I brought what Uncle Yoshiro had told me about Oyashiro-sama's curse. Ooh! What's this song? Ancient Times? Alright, well, wicked, I love the beat. Even before I left town, the curse had already struck twice. The dismemberment murder on the first year left quite an impact. In the year after, the pro-dam activist couple fell off the cliff. On the day of the villagers were enjoying their first Watanagashi festival, since the dam project was indefinitely frozen. This one also left quite the impact. The evil construction site manager was punished, and the next year the traitor to the village met the same fate. It was so funny, like, the evil construction site manager finally met his fate. Like, I don't think, Oishi will agree with that interpretation. At one bit, young lady. If it had happened only once, people would have concluded that it was just a bizarre conclusion. But when it happened 2 years in a row, people were far more likely to believe that it was a curse. I know up to that part, and after I left town, the curse struck again for the 3rd time. People talked about the curse more intensely than ever, both in Hinamizawa and Okuyamiya. I have to rethink this. Oyashiro-sama's curse was drastically gained credibility while I was away. I was still unaware with the first 2 incidents. I was still unclear with the first 2 incidents. But after it continued for 3 years straight, people's doubts changed to convictions. Even though the priest who died on the 3rd year wasn't an enemy of the villagers. The fact that people in Hinamizawa didn't care for him much added even more credibility to the idea.
神主は確か嫌われてませんでした?
Wasn't the priest hated by a few?
同盟の役員から。
especially by the community members.
うん。
Yeah,
日和見主義なんじゃないかって叩かれてたね。
they criticized him for being a fence sitter.
戦争末期は同盟内でも過激な理論がまかり通ってたから。
Towards the end of the damn conflict, the protesters were all talking aggressive stances. We're all taking aggressive stances.
神主さんの穏健な態度はそういう人たちにとって気に食わないものだったと
So
思う、ね。
they didn't like how soft he was being. The priest had looked strict and scary. The way he spoke was almost so formal. But in reality, he was very warm and reserved. I'm not sure Rika would really agree with that prospect. Maybe it was because he was a son-in-law, having married into his family. I am sure the priest and his personality were the perfect fit for managing the shrine that was used for summer festivals and village meetings. But the gathering spot-style atmosphere of the shrine changed completely when the Dam War broke out, and it became the headquarters for the Unikafuchi Guardians. Prior to the dam protests, hardly anyone worshipped Oyashiro-sama. Of course, the devout elders paid worship to him, but the average person treated our god like how you treat fortune-telling. Once the dam protests began, Oyashiro-sama was suddenly hauled out as a symbol of the villagers' resistance. Tracing the Oyashiro-sama's faith back to his roots. It was an exclusive elitist faith that believed his members were descended from a holy ancestor, different from the masses at the foot of the mountain, and that those tainted masses should never come near the village. Of course, such self-centered ideology wasn't acceptable anymore in peaceful post-war Japan. So this doctrine was abandoned over time. Still, that idea remained, and they tugged it back up to fan the flames of nationalism and unite the town against the dam project. With the revival of those ideas, things only grew more radical by the day. It didn't take very long for the Onikafuchi Guardians to become aggressive. After that, we were in a state of war. 1 million people. 1 million burning as one. Kill the white savages. Want not but victory. Well, kill the white savages. What the? Adulting. I feel like I should have said that for some reason. Adults and kids both were gnawing at the bit, either to repel the foreign invaders. Just describing it like that makes it sound like kind of awful, like a reminder of the dark times of wartime Japan. But like I said, before us kids, it felt less like a war and more like a village-wide festival. Yes, despite calling it a festival, dissenters were treated coldly. Their heartlessness lived up to the expression wartime regime. The Hojo couple, whose voiced their acceptance of the dam project in the midst of that atmosphere, were truly brave. Then, on the second year of the curse, they died in an accident. And everyone believed it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, without question. So they were branded traitors and enemies of the village. The Hojo couple faced worse than just being ostracized as traitors. Everyone gave them the cold shoulder and talked behind their backs. The only person who didn't treat them badly was the priest. While the priest never objected to the anti-dam movement, he also never objected to the Hojo couple's apathy for accepting the government's eviction and restitution to rebuild their new lives. Those unforgivable Hojos became a slogan as the three families, especially the Sansakis, united the village by turning them into scapegoats. So they must have found it very shameful to have a fellow member of the three families approve of that, especially when it was the priest of the shrine that had become a symbol for the damn protest. As central figures in Hinamizawa, the three families were the backbones of the Onifuguchi Guardians, so a difference of opinion was undesirable. And the priest was never accused of anything. But secretly, people whispered that he was a heretic, that he was unfit to serve as Oyashiro-sama's priest, that Oyashiro-sama's curse would soon strike him down, along with other rumors.
今にして考えると、神主さんって結構大人だったのかもねって思いません?
Don't you think the priest was more mature than those around him? He was pretty cool, managed to keep his head and remain neutral while everyone around him grew fervent. I thought Mion would share my opinion when I chimed back in. So when Mion gave me a forced smile and didn't agree with me, I was taken by surprise.
本当に大人だったら、あそこは周りに合わせて強調すべきところだったと思うね。
If he was really mature, I think he would have cooperated with the others. He should have appeased them.
フルデのおじさんは単に神社の神主だっただけじゃなく、仮にも御三家の一つ、フルデ家の長だったんだからさ。南沢全体が結束しなくちゃならない時に、模範となるべき御三家の人間が自分から輪を乱すのは。
Mion's going a little monologue. 1 second. Moving the microphone. There you go. I move it a little bit. I would just pause and I would just mute it, but last time I muted the microphone, I forgot to turn it back on. If he were really mature, I think he would have cooperated with the others. He should have appeased them. He wasn't just the head priest. He was also the head of the Furude family. That was a time when all of Hinamizawa needed to be united. So having one of the families who were supposed to serve as examples disturbed that harmony was.
それが大人と呼べるかどうかは、私には難しいな。
I don't know if that should be called mature. It's hard for me to tell. I was taken aback. I barely managed to say the following. Even though we're identical twins, we still have our own unique identities. Every now and then, our opinions differed, but usually only over some trivial matter. We've never had a difference of opinion this big. It was an enjoyable feeling. I decided to probe her some more.
お姉の言う協調って言葉がなんだか好きじゃないんですけど。
I don't really like the word you used. Appease?
つまりそれって何?
What are you trying to say?
村全体を考えて、神主さんは自分の考えを隠しているべきだったって。
Are you saying the priest should thought of the village as a whole and kept his opinion a secret?
要するに全体主義の中でこう主張するなと、そういう話?
Meaning people shouldn't assert the self before the whole?
別にそこまでは言わないけど。
I'm not going that far.
ただその やっぱり御三家の長の一人なんだから、もう少し言動は慎重にしてもよかったんじゃないか。
It's just
そういうことだよ。
I thought that as a member of the three families, he should have acted more carefully. That's what I mean. Mion faltered a bit as my tone grew more like a cross-examination. I realized I was speaking a bit too harshly. What Mion expressed was probably the more mature opinion on our scale. When everyone needs to work together to stand up to a vast enemy like the government, people should refrain from actions that would destabilize that alliance. Writing it out and reading it now, I can understand that. But I wasn't mature enough to agree to such a totalitarian idea. Or maybe it wasn't like me at all. It was Mion who made that mature judgment. We've been separated for over a year. I had been away from town. In the meantime, Mion had been training to take over the headship of the Sansaki family. She'd been treated as such even before I was confined to that institution. She sat next to the hag in ceremonies and in meetings. She took her place when the hag was absent. But that was just it. We were never that different. Mion has become like a successor since I've been gone.
お姉もいつの間にか大人になっちゃいましたね。
You sound like a grown-up now. She seemed to get what I was implying.
やっぱり私もバッチャみたいな考え方になっちゃってきたかな。
Am I thinking like Granny now?
いいじゃないですか。
That's good.
お姉は次期当主なんだから。
You're the successor.
いつまでも下々と同じ考え方じゃまずいでしょ。
You shouldn't think like the rest.
さすが帝王学を学んだだけのことはある。
You're definitely learned the art of ruling.
そんなの学んでないよ。
I never learned anything like that.
どうやればバッチャのふりができるかって。それ
I
だ
was
け
just
だ。
I was just trying to act like her.
シオンにだって簡単にできるよ。
You can do it easily too.
そんなのやりたくないです。
I don't want to.
ばあさんのおもりはミオンのお役目。
It's your role.
疲れない程度にほどほどに頑張りな
Don't
さい
try
ませ。
too hard, or you'll tire yourself out. I didn't mean to be cold, but Mion seemed to take it that way. She smiled as trying to pacify me. I smiled gently back at her.
お姉
Sis?
うん。
I mean, Mion.
何
What is it?
確かに私たちの別離はいつも穏便じゃなかった。
Our separation has always been tough.
名前を引き離され、住まいを引き離され、そして体を引き離された時も。
Our
いつもね。
names, the places we lived, and our bodies. Mion looked down with a serious face, but then looked right back up.
あんたは私がそのあたりで逆恨みしてるんじゃないかって思ってるかもしれない。
Maybe you think I'm jealous of that,
でもそれは、
but I'm not.
そりゃ確かに確執はあったよ。
We used to have some disagreements,
でもそんなのは時間で流れる程度のもの。
but they were always small and forgettable.
あんたが引け目を感じるようなことは何もない。
You don't have to feel sorry for anything. Up until birth, we were perfectly equal. Right after birth, we were separated by the grown-ups' priorities. I used to get mad about it when I was little. There's no denying that. But we don't have to start a disagreement over it. Mion seems to understand what I'm trying to say. We each have our own characteristics, even though we're identical twins. Only we know the difference. We're also dependent on each other because of them. Mion seems more dependent. She always worries about me. If somebody gave her a cookie, she divided it in two and give one half to me. If someone gave her a candy, she can't she wait until I said it was okay to eat it. On the contrary, I'm cold. I don't care about others if I'm satisfied. I put the candy in my mouth right away. I had to emphasize that I don't hate her, and I'm well aware that she loves me. We both know that. Mion must have been hesitating to put the candy of the successor in her mouth, and was waiting to see if I was okay with that.
頑張れ、ミオ。
Aw, she looks kind of cute all close up to the camera. Do your best, Mion.
私もシオンを頑張る。
I'll do my best to Shion, too. I tapped her forehead with my fist slightly. Mion put her forehead against my fist as if trying to feel the warmth. She's Mion, and I'm Shion. She's the successor of the Sansaki family, and I'm just a vagabond. That isn't a distinction, but rather our individuality. We shouldn't worry too much about the other anymore. We should feel relaxed, living as who we are, with our own characteristics. I didn't have to say any of that out loud. We can communicate by touch, like this. Okay.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
シオン。
Shion.
頑張ろう、ミオン。
No worries, Mion.
困ったことがあったらいつでも相談して。
Let's talk to each other. Let's talk to each other whether we want to.
私たちはいつだってそうやってきた。
Like we always been.
それはこれからも何も変わらないよ。
That will never change. Okay? Okay. Okay. Mion kept nodding with her forehead against my fist. That was cute. Mion being a little dork. I love it. I said goodbye to Mion before it turned to evening. We had talked about the things that happened during my time away, and I enjoyed having that chat between sisters very much. We were able to dissolve our unsettled emotions. We didn't used to do that. Maybe it was because we hadn't seen each other for over a year. It was late afternoon. My heart felt lighter now. I stretched and looked up at the sky. The sky was clear blue and far away. No matter how tall I grow, I'll never be able to touch the sky. I'm Shion Sanasaki, a girl who escaped from the life she was forced to live. Nobody will praise me for what I did and for what I'm going to do. But this is what I chose.
なんだ。私だって大人な考え
I
方
can
できるじゃない。
I can think maturely too. I psyched myself up. I should go shopping for dinner. Though I have Kasai's help, I need to save money. I love junk food, but it'd be cheaper to cook. Ironically, the culinary classes from the evil school will come in handy. Why not go to the shopping district in Ishiki? If I'm going there, then I need to take the other street. The cool breeze in the late afternoon felt nice on my skin. Kasai came to the door while I was putting stuff I bought into the fridge.
あ、待って待って。
Ah, wait a sec.
今、鍵開けます。
I'm coming. Oh, the footsteps? That's cool. I love all the audio details. Oh, yeah, this is the apartment? I love it. I love it. Wait a second. I want to turn myself off real quick. I just want to get a good clean screenshot of this. It looks so cool. I love Shion's little apartment. It is so adorable. Yeah, the little... It just screams Shion. You got the little bunny trash can. You got the little cute little teddy bear. You got a little fish rug. I have that. I don't have that rug, but I have a rug similar to that. But it's like a monkey head. It's so cute. And yeah, what's this? Super Brain First Live. I don't know what it is, but I love her little apartment. I'm sorry. I had to get out of my system. And got Kazai back. Did you go shopping? Did you go grocery shopping? You must be tired. I don't get tired from grocery shopping. Oh, do you want dinner? I bought enough for you too. Is that alright? If you say so, I'd be happy to. Cause I look curious about what I cooked. Huh? You don't look like you believe in my cooking skills. You'll pay for that later. Are you putting these in the refrigerator? I'll do the rest. I'll do it. Ah, thanks. Is this amount of rice enough for two? Here, go. Kasai skillfully packed the food in the fridge while glancing at each item in turn. He noticed something. Do you still hate canned food? I hadn't bought any. That was, of course, on purpose. It must be hard to avoid it. I know it's illogical. Maybe I could eat it if somebody forced me to. No. On second thought, I definitely couldn't. I feel really sorry. I know I was out of line then. Please forget about that story. Shut up. Men shouldn't hang around the kitchen. Go watch TV or something. Kasai chuckled and left. Shion, how Shion, don't be sexist. A man belongs in the kitchen. I like to cook. Can I cook for you, Shion? I like to cook with Shion. She lets me. She won't let me, will she? I know this sounds stupid, but I hate canned food. If somebody told me there was canned food in a meal, I just ate. I throw up. Oh. What's wrong, girl? I mean, I love fresh food is always better, but it can't be that bad. It started with a silly thing. Kasai's told me a horror story when I was little. Oh shit! Okay, so the canned human meat from episode 2, the little thing Shion was going on and on about. Is she talking about that? You know, one of those urban legends about the meat made from an unknown source? Like those rumors about how there's worm meat mixed into burger patties or dog meat in beef bowls? Kasai had fun telling me one of those stories because of how scared I got. He had fun, but I obviously didn't. I even started to cry in the canned food section of a supermarket. That's how much I hated it. I don't freak out like that anymore, but I still don't like canned food. Since I don't like it, don't force myself, and I now live myself naturally avoiding canned food. One of the big differences between us twins is that Mion doesn't have this issue. Kasai feels responsible for this, but he can't rid me of that fear. Still, a flaw like this is actually a good thing. Otherwise I'd be too perfect. Oh no, she knows she's perfect. That's good. The girl, I love that. I love how you can feel the confidence in Shion's voiceover or dialogue. Kasai, sit at the table. Well, would you?
いい匂いですね。
It smells good.
ごちそうになります。
Thank you for doing this.
量が足りないと思ったら、あとは勝手に牛丼屋さんにでも行くこと。
If it isn't enough food, you can go to a beef bowl place later or something.
あ、テレビを切らないで。
Oh, and don't turn off the TV.
私は静かな食卓ってやつが苦手だから。
I hate having dinner in silence.
では、いただきます。
Thank you for the meal.
で、
So,
葛西何の用だったの？
what is it, Kasai?
何か用事があってきたんでしょ？
You came here for something, didn't you? I handed him a cup of tea. I can wait until dinner was over, but I wanted to get to the point quick.
食事が終わってからの方がいいかと思ってましたが、
I thought
食べながらにしますか？
I should wait until we finish, but will you mind if I talk while eating?
葛西が来た時点でずっと何の用か気になってるから。
It's been bugging me since you got here.
先に言ってくれた方がご飯の通りが良くていいかもです。
It'd be much easier for me to eat if you start talking.
自宅に学園から電話が今日ありました。
We received a phone call from the school today.
今日
Today?
そりゃ遅いね。
That's late.
よっぽど表沙汰にしたくなかったと見えるな。
Sounds like they didn't want to make it public.
で、どうなったの？
So, what happened?
電話は茜さんが取りました。
Akane-san took the call.
親父さんには後で折を見て話すそうです。
She said she was going to tell your father when the time is right. Akane-san is my mom. That's what Kasai calls her, as he's known her since before her marriage.
で、
So,
母さんなんか言ってた？
what did she say? I was lucky she answered the phone, since she's relatively on my side.
仕方のないやつだと漏らしておりました。
Other than calling you a brat,
こういう結果も決して予想外ではなかったような顔つきでしたね。
she didn't seem surprised by this outcome.
親父にはまだ知らせ
I
てないん
see.
だ。
So she hasn't told Dad yet.
茜さんなりにタイミングを測っているんでしょう。
She's probably waiting for the right moment.
多分2、3日中には話すものと思います。
I think she's going to in a couple of days.
親父はばあさん寄りだからな。
Dad is on Grandma's side,
耳に入れば自動的にあいつにも伝えるだろうな。
so he'll definitely talk to her if he hears about it.
で、伝わったら見つけ次第即刻ここへ連れてこい。
Then she'll have her men bring me to her.
申し開きの意見によっては指の1本や2本ってことになるだろうね。
And depending on my explanation, make me offer a finger or two.
おっかない子って。
Scary.
笑い事で済めばいいんですがね。
I wish you could laugh it off.
シオンさんの指だけじゃ済まないかもしれないって
But
とこだけ。
Please
よくお願
remember,
いしますよ。
you're not the only one who.
あちちち。
がっつくからだよ。
You're eating too fast.
ちなみに味噌汁もご飯も
too much
作り
rice
す
and
ぎて
miso
るか
soup.
らおかわりは強制ね。
So you'll have another round.
3杯は絶対食べること。
At least 3 helpings, alright? A few days later, Mion told me that the hag had heard about my escape.
で、
So,
ばあさんはどんな感じだった？
how did she take it?
バッチェはカンカンでさ、
She was furious.
もしも沖宮界隈に帰ってきてるなら、即刻見つけ次第自分の前に引っ立てろってさ。
She said if you were in Okiyamiya, she'd get you right away.
怖っ。
Ooh, scary. And
実際に親父とかの動向
is
は？
Dad doing anything?
近々の親族会議でシオンをかくまってないか問いただすみたいだね。
They'll hold a family council soon to see if any of the family members are hiding you.
でも若いのに街中を探させるとかそういう真似はしないみたいだよ。
It doesn't look like she'll have the greenhorn search for you all around town, though. Holding a family council means that things will remain in the hag's hands alone. She won't search the town for me. It's like she's unofficially approving my presence. Of course, I'll get caught immediately if they find me in a large public place.
母さんが随分暗躍してくれたみたいだね。
Seems like Mom did a lot to help me. I can't tell if she's being supportive. It's a long story, but my mom is sort of an outlaw, even though she's the Sanosaki blood. A long time ago, she had a huge fight with the hag because she hated the family rules and traditions. She was even excommunicated. Mom was supposed to be the successor, but she was deprived of the title, and Sis took her place instead. While she's quiet now, Mom's still an outlaw. She's always been on my side, because I also hate rules and traditions.
親父、最初はすっごくカンカンだったらしいよ。
Dad was flaring up at first,
母さんがだいぶなだめたらしい。
but Mom pacified him.
何のかんの言っても、親父は最後には母さんには勝てないからね。
He can't win against her after all.
オッケー、ありがとう。
Okay, thanks.
また何かあったら教えてね。
Let me know if something comes up.
本当にヤバくなったら、私もこの町を離れるつもりだから。
If things really go bad, I'm ready to leave town.
葛西とか吉郎おじさんとか、
I
それ
can't
に母さんとか、
let
世話になった
Kansai,
人の顔は潰せないからね。
Uncle Yoshiro, or Mom lose face.
おねえ、あんたが今何を考えてるか
Sis?
わかりますよ。
I know what you're thinking.
どうして同じ血を分けた姉妹なのに、シオンだけこんな隠れるように生活しなきゃならないのか。
You're asking yourself,
Yes, sir.
why only I have to go through this? Even though we're twins, aren't you? Mion was silent. That meant yes.
シオンだけ、
It isn't fair
こんな窮屈な思いをするのは
that
フェア
only
じゃないよ。
you have to live like this.
絶対。
It's absolutely not.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
気持ちだけでも嬉しいです。
I appreciate your feelings.
表に出たい時とか、あったら相談して。
Tell me when you want to go out.
シオンがいつでもミオンになれるよう
I'll
協
arrange
力
my
するから
plans
さ。
so that I can trade places with you. She sounded apologetic. I shouldn't go quiet or agree with her. She sticks to things a little too much. When she goes down, she'll stay there for a while. So I just told her simply,
ありがとう。
Arigato.
実はそれが一番ありがたいです。
That's really nice of you.
じゃあ切りますね。
Okay, hang up now.
じゃあね、またね。
Talk to you later. Ah, Mrs. Sweet. Those swipes at the bottom. I do like Umineko's better with the whole breaking of the glass, the breaking of realities, and the... Ooh! A submerged diary. What is it? What is it? View new tips. A smudged diary. Satoko was crying while hiding behind my back. Oh no! Oh no, oh no. Wait, was this the same CG that was used when we entered the Hojo household in episode 3? I think it was a little different, but definitely it has to be it. No, we had to go back to this horrible stuff. Satoko was crying while hiding behind my back. She'd been crying while clinging onto me, so my back was wet with her tears and snot. My aunt had been screaming hysterically, but she looked tired now. I suddenly realized that it was already past 1 in the morning. She vomited out a series of screams one last time, then finally called it quits. Saiko seemed exhausted. She was looking down in a state of shock. Even after my aunt walked away, she didn't realize she had been freed. So I stroked her head and told her,
終わったよ。サトコ。
It's over, Satoko. Saiko twitched. Her eyes grew bright again, and tears rolled down her cheeks. She looked up at my face. She knew it was over, but wanted to hear it directly from me. She begged me with a look. To be honest, I was really exhausted too. So I felt a bit annoyed when she tried to make me say it. But I needed to pacify her. So I gently told her what she wanted to hear. She's done with her scolding. So let's go to sleep. Alright? Sadako clung to me while her tears continued to fall. She was crying again silently. Sadako was shivering pitifully. Her small back reminded me that there was nobody else to protect her. Here, go brush your teeth, make your bed, and go to sleep. Sadako smiled faintly and nodded. I felt dizzy. As I was released from the strain, a harsh drowsiness fell upon me. While Sadako was washing her face, I went to the toilet. I zoned out while watching my pee. In my dizziness, I almost missed the shot. It felt like I was being sucked into the toilet. I couldn't even remember what caused it. Why did my aunt start screaming today? That's it? Oh no. We gotta see Sadako get hurt by these people again? Why? That's fine. They all die. I've been streaming for an hour. Let me take a quick little break, guys. Need to be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's keep going for 1 more hour. It was a very quiet afternoon, as always. Since I can't go outside myself, I have to match schedules with Mion when I go shopping. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Today, I shuttle between shops and my home. And I got this, I got that. Oh wait, isn't it a 100 yen sale day today? I forgot this. Being in a good mood, I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arms at a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It honestly wasn't where it was supposed to be. Ow, ow, ow. What the? Who parked this motorcycle here? I gave it a kick with no hesitation. Oh no. Neon and not Neon, Shion and Keiichi kicking motorcycles down for no freaking reason. There were 3 motorcycles lined up in a row. They all fell like dominoes. It was a beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Being in such a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize that the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. And they looked pretty scary. They grabbed me by my neck and dragged me into a dark alley. They called me all kinds of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. The fuck were you, bitch? What do you think you're doing, huh? Fucking bash your head in, bitch! Yeah! Gonna pay for what you did! Gonna pay! Well, they can't really talk properly. Shion, you're such a bitch. I love you. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue with words to understand. We were all very upset. Because you knocked down our motorcycles. You should immediately pay for the repair and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it. That's our offer. What do you say? We're happy to listen to your opinion. Something like that. Yeah! What to do? I'm sorry. Can you please speak properly? I don't think I can continue interpretation. Ah? What you saying? I know what they're trying to say. I mean, I think I do. But somebody has to warn them. But the way they park their motorcycles. I mean, I can't do everything about it. And they messing up is not entirely my fault. It would be fair to those who obey the rules if there was no punishment for those who disobey them. This is an accident. Must it be also God's will? But God... You can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? I heaved a huge sigh. Of course. I wasn't afraid in this situation at all. Because it wasn't dangerous. It wasn't a dangerous one for me. These three guys were yelling at me at the top of their lungs at a girl who didn't look good doing it. They didn't look good doing it, and they had too many disadvantages. First, there was the differences in gender and the number of people. Even if I did something wrong, as men shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. Add to that, there were three of them, and it already looked like it was going to get violent. Second, the location. Taking a girl into a dark, narrow alleyway is already a bad idea. And top that, they're asking for money, not an apology. Thanks to the facts, the public will be on my side. So, this was a fight they couldn't possibly win. The only way for them to win would be to take my money before somebody finds out. Considering that, taking me to this narrow, scheduled alleyway might have been a smart move, since fewer people will find out about the situation. Oh! You listen is or not? I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning, they picked the wrong girl. I'm Neon Sanasaki now. It'd be foolish to mug her in Okiomiya. Soon enough, the people at Hinamizawa would notice me and gather around. They don't spare mercy for their enemies, no matter what. The punks didn't know this area well. If they did, they had known how silly it was to rob Neon. Plus, the alleyway isn't always as empty as they assumed. This side street is a shortcut, which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people will be passing through here. That time had already arrived. If I held out a little longer, the streets would soon be filled with people. Then the punks would have to go away. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. Well, they could hurl abusive language at me, lift me up on my collar. They weren't actually going to resort to violence. Cheers to the educational system for ingraining the ladies first mindset. But as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous, and drive them into a corner that would be even harder to talk their way out of. That demonic desire was rearing its horns. To put it painfully, I only needed to act as the poor, helpless victim a little further. Like the pathetic, pitiful, tragic heroine everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I should start crying immediately because they get nervous and draw back. If it were a truly threatening situation, well, that would work, but I needed something different here. I pretended to be strong at first. In fact, I thought, why don't I challenge them? And eventually, I start trembling, my voice would fade, and I get tears in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving into fear. Mion and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. Well, I'm probably better than her.
んなにしつこく言わなくてもいいでしょ。
Above Shion's mindset. Why don't you let me go now?
悪かったって言ってるじゃないですか。
Already apologized. I talked back with a little hesitation. Am I getting tears yet? Yes. By the way, I have heard men can't shed tears on command. I feel sorry for them. Yes, we can. It takes a little more effort. Just a little more effort. The three punks flattered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. That way, they basically looked like they were picking on a helpless girl. Please, forgive me? What you doing? What with this girl? Don't. Maybe you should have apologized like that from the start. It looked like they were laying it off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let me go now. At that moment... It's our boy! Our boy! The legendary Satoshi Nini himself. He's finally made his grand appearance. We finally get to see what he looked like. He's a little weak, isn't he? No, we love Satoshi. We love Satoshi. Cut it out. Don't you see her crying? Stop it. A boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. He looked weak. He looked younger than me. He looked younger than he probably was. He also looked smart. He bravely glared at the punks. What the hell? Who the fuck are ye? Got the fuck off! The punks turned away from me to face the boy instead. The boy looked a bit agitated when the punks started yelling at him. They sure were ruthless. But the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known that he was going to a dangerous situation. Yet he didn't hesitate. Fucking say something. Why don't you answer us? He must want to shout back at them, but he probably never used this kind of language in his life, so he couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. He might have not even known what to say. So he kept glaring at them to let them know that he wasn't going anywhere. The three punks might have thought he was just lost for words and fear. But I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing but his will. The punks were losing. So they resorted to violence. Oh no! They grabbed him and knocked him down. They kicked and tossed him around. It looked painful, but I knew. It was his victory. You gonna help him? In the end, local passerbyers stopped the punks. They made no further fuss and just went away. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. He smiled and our eyes met. And he asked me if I was alright. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though.
あんたもよくもまあ勝てない喧嘩を買う人ですね。
How could you step into a fight you obviously couldn't win?
次からは勝てる算段がついてから喧嘩を買うことを深
Pick
く
your
お勧め
opponents
します
better
けど
next
ね。
time.
最初は迷ったよ。
I hesitated at first. He laughed, saying that he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away, but instead he worked up the courage and stepped in.
そういうのは勇気って言わず、
That
万有って言います。
that was reckless,
身の程知らずとも言うか
not
な。
brave.
うん。
Look at him blush. Oh,
ミオンは口が減らないね。
you're being a little harsh, Mion.
助けてくれてありがとうくらい言ってくれよ。
Should at least say thank you.
泣いてたじゃないか。
I saw you crying.
別に泣いてなんかいません。
I wasn't crying.
あれはちょっとした演技で。
That was just an act.
いいよ、演技でも。
Okay, okay.
ちょ
Hey,
信じてないでしょう。
you don't believe me? Do you?
私が本当に泣き出すと
Do
思
you
いま
really
すか
think I cry?
思わないよ。
No.
天下御免の園崎ミオンが不良にいじめられて泣き出したなんて。
Nobody
思
believe
わないよ。
nobody believed Mion Sanzaki would cry when punks bullied her.
何を笑ってるんですか。
But why are you laughing?
全然信じてないでしょう。
You really don't believe that was an act?
私が半泣きなんてするわけ
I
ない。
never cry.
信じるから信じるから。
I believe you. I do. I do. I realize one thing. He must be one of my sister's friends. One of my sister's friends. He didn't seem to realize I'm her twin. He thought I was Mion, with a different hairstyle. Mia and I have to live separately, since before we went to elementary school. Mion was in Hinamizawa, and I was in Okumiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her. So it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only very few people know I exist. I almost told him that I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Shion shouldn't be here. He's from Hinamizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought he saw a Mion lookalike in Okunomiya. So I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than handling those punks.
でもまあ、
Well,
ミオンにも少しは女の子らしいところがあったんで安心したよ。
well, I was just relieved because you seem to have a girly side after all.
なんだか妙に引っかかる言い方ですけど、つまりはどういう意味です？
You sound hostile. What exactly do you mean by that?
ミオンのことだから、なんだか珍妙な憲法でも使って瞬く間に撃退してしまうんじゃないかって期待してたね。
I thought he kicked those guys' butts with some crazy martial arts.
だから泣き出した時は正直驚いた。
So I was really surprised when you just started crying.
だから
Hey!
あれは泣き真似だったって言ってる
Like
じゃ
I
ないですか。
said, I was acting.
さっきから人の話ちゃんと聞いて。
Weren't you listening at all? He gently put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. I could remember somebody doing that to me when I was little, but it had been quite a while since somebody stroked my head. I didn't know what to do. What did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened all at once. I couldn't say anything. Hey,
バカにしてます？ひょっとして。
are you making fun of me? I stuttered in embarrassment. He looked calm, as if he was used to doing this.
何でもいいよ。
Whatever.
よかったじゃないか。
Aren't you glad though?
よかったって
Glad?
何がです？
What do you mean?
無事で。
Well, you didn't get hurt. He smiled while he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. He wasn't going to stay for long. He's already saved me from those guys after all.
じゃあ、僕は行かなきゃならないから。
Well, I need to be going.
そろそろ行くね。
So I should have now.
うん。
Okay. I want to go through all the steps of meeting someone for the first time. But he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger. He wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mion must be friends who knew each other well. So I couldn't bring myself to ask, "What's your name?" Mion's friend smiled once again. His smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time, he smiled a bit mischievously.
安心しなよ。
Don't worry,
ミオンが泣いてたなんて誰にも言わないから。
I don't tell anyone that you're crying.
もっとも言ったところで誰も信じないだろうけどね。
Nobody would believe if I told them anyway.
天下無双の委員長が泣いてたなんて絶対誰も信じない。
Nobody would ever believe that our invincible class president cried. He patted the dust off his butt once again. He walked back to the sunny main road, away from the dark alley. Then he turned around.
じゃあまた明日。
See you.
学校でね。
School tomorrow, I mean.
うん。
Yeah,
学校で。
see you in school. He disappeared into the brightly lit street. I continued to sit in the gloomy alleyway. I could no longer see him. I was just staring absentmindedly at the bright light. That was the first time I met Satoshi-kun. Aww. Oh, I'm not even allowed to walk freely under the sky. I met a boy on a sunny day. How come a perverse girl like me fell in love with his innocence?
そりゃあサトシだよ、サトシ。
That must be Satoshi. Listen, guys, I need to take a run away for a second. And I even need to just run away. One second. Back. Wait, right back. Let's keep going. That must be Satoshi.
その特徴的な雰囲気と気安く頭を撫でる癖は間違いないね。
He looks like what you described. He has a habit of stroking people's heads.
サトシくんって言うんだ。
His name is Satoshi-kun, huh? The boy from earlier is called Satoshi Hojo-kun. Mion said that he's always daydreaming. So she didn't believe that he saved me at first.
普段はしっかり者の妹にいろいろと尻を叩かれてるな。
His his little sister is always kicking his butt.
ふん。妹がいるんだ。
He has a little sister?
うん。
Yeah,
妹はサトコって言ってね。
her name is Satoko.
なかなか面白いやつだよ。
She's funny
なかなか悪知恵が働く
and
しね。
shrewd,
そのくせ追い詰められると泣くし。
but is quick to cry when she's cornered. Yep, that sounds like a girl.
見てて退屈しない子だね。
She's fun to watch.
まあ、最近はいろいろとあってね。
But things have been rough for her lately.
ちょっと調子を落としてるけど。
So she's feeling a bit down. His sister came up naturally in the conversation. I tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi-kun. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. I must have been blushing.
もしもし
Hello?
シオン
Shion?
ごめん。
Sorry.
聞いてる聞いてる。
I'm here. I'm listening.
そもそもね、サトコがおばと折り合いが悪いらしいんだよね。
To start, I hear Satoko's on bad terms with his aunt.
サトシは大人だから、その辺はうまく立ち回ってるんだけどさ、
I was gonna mess it up.
サトコは嫌なことがあると素直に表情に出しちゃうからね。
To start, I hear Satoko's on bad terms with her aunt. Satoshi's mature, so he knows how to conduct himself. But when bad things happen, Satoko really lets herself go. What Sis told me was very interesting. She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. They don't seem like respectable people. They're always fighting, and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. He mostly lives with his mistress. Satoshi-kun and Satoko enter into the unwelcome environment. What surprises me the most is the fact that Satoshi-kun's parents were the Hojo couple, who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That fact must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and aunt took during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Satoshi Kun's parents died after bothering them so much, and even left them their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. Things have gotten worse this past year too. Women can really be nasty bullies. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're bullying, even if it's a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about priority than men. As a result, Satoko seems exhausted with it all. I can imagine Satoshi-kun bravely protecting his little sister. Just like when he saved me.
なら、サトシ君も普段は疲れてるってことになるのかな。
So, he must be exhausted too, right?
え
Huh?
サトコがおばにいじめられるたびに、きっとサトシ君は妹をかばってると思う。
He must be covering for Satoko all the time.
妹が疲れるのと同じくらい、サトシ君も疲れてると思うのは、私
So,
の考えすぎ？
wouldn't you normally assume that he's also feeling worn out?
うん、
Well,
どうだろうね。
I don't know. Had I said something wrong? Mion sounded a bit taken aback. So that meant Mion can't tell how he's feeling. Because he's always wearing that blank look. So she never considered it. How can she be that insensitive, even though she's around him all the time? That's not how he portrays himself, though. He doesn't want people to know about all that horror. At least that's how I'm seeing it. I'm amazed to realize that.
まあそんな話はいいや。
Well,
で、
anyway,
彼は普段はどんなことをしてるの？
what does he usually do?
文系みたいだから読書とか好きなわけ？
He looks smart. So, does he read a lot of books?
あ、
Ah!
想像に生まれずに普段は読書して過ごしてるよ。
Yeah, you're right. He likes to read.
最近読んでる本はね、
He's
なんて言ったかな。
he's now reading what's it called? I continue asking about him. About what he likes, dislikes, and thinks about. I ask all these questions because I want to know more about him. It was the first time I heard I've been that interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit that I had feelings like this. Did I fall in love just because of a stroke on the head? Am I stupid or what? When I remember the feeling of his hand on my head, my heart feels tingly. I tried doing it myself, but it didn't feel the same. I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my own head?
おねえ、私もうダメだ。
Sis, I'm done for.
バカになっちゃった。
I became stupid.
え？
What?
何を突然。
Why are you laughing?
気色悪い声で笑い出し
That
て。
weird voice.
お姉にはわかるまい、この気持ち。
You wouldn't understand this feeling, sis. I know, she's gone mad. When would I see him again? I felt as if my suffocating life had finally grown brighter. Aww. That's a little cute though, see her getting all giddy. From a boy she likes. The life I lived really was beginning to suffocate me. I couldn't go out freely, and I was always had to work. I had to make arrangements with Mion before going to work. I thought my life would improve after escaping from the school, but in reality, it wasn't that easy. It's not healthy to live like this for too long. I disagree. I'm a homebody. Without any friends to hang out with, all the friends you need are inside your head. I felt like I was hibernating. I started to feel the dangers of falling into boredom. Sorry, the mention of being bored was a bit triggering for a second. It reminded me about a certain couple of witches that we haven't gotten to in Umineko. All I could think of now was Satoshi-kun's face. I only met him briefly, but my encounter with him had a great impact on my new life. I felt like something exciting was going to happen. Really, I was hyped up like a little kid. The more I thought about it, I realized I've been thinking about him a lot lately. This might be a crush. It felt a little ridiculous idolizing him in such a romantic way, though. Then, out of the blue, I got a chance to see him again.
あれ
Oh? I saw a familiar face at twilight in the park. He was sitting on the swing. It looked like he was zoning out, maybe deep in thought. He didn't notice me, even though I was right in front of him. I reminded myself to speak and act like Neon before talking to him.
へい何やってんのこんなとこでさ。
Hey, what you doing here?
ミオンか。
Neon,
びっくりしたな。
you surprised me.
そんなに驚いてるようには見えないけどね。
You don't look surprised.
さっきからいたんだけど、ずっと気づかなかった？
I've been standing here for a couple minutes. Didn't you notice me?
そうなのかい？
Have you?
ごめん、気づかなかった。
Sorry, I didn't. He smiled self-decidedly and shrugged. He looked depressed, like something was troubling him.
何か悩み事でも？
Is something bothering
聞
you?
いて楽になるものなら聞くし、力になれるものなら惜しまないけど。
You can talk to me if you want. Maybe I can help.
いや、別に。
No, it's okay.
私はサトシ君には一個借りがあるからね。
Come on, I owe you from before, Satoshi-kun.
それとも何？
Or maybe
おじさんじゃ力になれないと思ってるわけ？
you don't think this old man can be any help?
見くびられたもんだな。
Don't you know how mighty I am?
別に。
I'm okay.
ミオンの力を借りたら
You don't have
意
to
味が
help
ない
me.
ことだからさ。
ほう。
Oh,
それは何？
what is it then?
私ごとき女の手は借りたくないってこと？
Are you saying you don't need help from a girl? Thinking him unfair, I puffed up my cheeks in a sulky gesture. Satoshi-kun noticed that and smiled.
違うんだよ、ミオン。
No, Mion.
僕に実力がなくて、ここ一番で
It's just
打てなかったってだけのことなんだよ。
I messed up on my swing when they needed me the most. I mentally rifled through all the information about Satoshi-kun that Sis had given me. He doesn't look like much of an athlete, but apparently Satoshi-kun belonged to a junior baseball team. They're called the Hinamizawa Fighters. I doubt he's very skilled, since I didn't hear much about his contributions to the team. Maybe that's why he doesn't tell many people that he's a member. Given how down he felt as a result of messing up, though he must be fairly dedicated. I deduced all that from Sis told me, and carefully chose my words so as I sounded like her.
なんだ、
What?
そんなことで落ち込んでるわけ？
Are you feeling down just because of that?
そんなことでって
Hey,
簡単に言ってくれるな、ミオンは。
it's not that easy to get over, Mion. I passed back while chuckling. Satoshi-kun would probably call me insensitive. I knew I should listen to him rather than trying to cheer him up. Acting like Sis was probably the wrong thing to do in this case. But I had no choice. This is just how she'd react in the situation.
それなら落ち込むんじゃなくて、なお一層練習に打ち込んで次のチャンスを目指すのが適当ってもんでしょうが。
Instead of feeling down, you should practice even harder and aim for your chance, you know?
こういう時は練習しかないよ、練習。
Practice makes perfect here.
まあ、サトシ君に相手のピッチャーに小細工をしてまで勝ちたいという執念があるなら、おじさんいろいろと協力できるかもしれませんけどね。
Well, if you want to beat the opposing pitcher so badly, you're willing to pull some tricks, then I might be able to help you out in a few ways.
ずるしても何の意味もないよ。
There's no point if I cheat.
はあ。
Satoshi-kun hung his head after letting his regret out with a big sigh. Surrender, defeat, resignation. were all visible in that gesture of his.
諦めがいいのか未練たらたらなのか。
Are you quick to give up or persistent?
やっぱり男に生まれたからには一度くらいは晴れ舞台でスターになってみたいでしょう。
If you're a man, then don't you want to be a star and have your 15 minutes of fame? Satoshi-kun grinned and said yes.
もちろんヒーローを目指すの
Of
は
course.
花だけど、
That'd be wonderful.
それが目的で野球をやってるわけじゃないよ。
But that's not why I want to play basketball. Baseball.
純粋にボールを投げたり打ったりするのが楽しいからやってるんだよ。
I just have fun batting and throwing the ball.
ミオンでもそういうのわかるよね。
You can understand that, right?
おじさんはそういうのはあんまわかんないかな。
This old man isn't sure.
私は結果が一番であるならどんな種目でも大好きだし。
I only love games that I can win.
一番になれないのに大好きなんてものはあんまりよくわかんないね。
I don't know. I don't understand how you can love something when you can't be the best at it.
ミオンらしい答えだな。
That really sounds like you, Mion. Having realized that I'm trying to make him feel better, he laughed along. He didn't look depressed anymore. I guess he was just feeling down because of the game. He wasn't as depressed as I thought. Maybe I just jumped to conclusions when I saw him sitting alone in the park.
でもミオンは一番になるためにいろいろと努力をするからね。
You always put your best effort to win.
それは偉いと思うよ。
That's admirable, I think. Yeah, it definitely is. He smiled gently and stood up. Then he started stroking my head. All of a sudden, I totally wasn't prepared for that. I know she blanked out. What? I thought this when he did it last time, but how can he stroke somebody's head so easily? I felt like I had turned into a little kid. Memories from kindergarten came to mind. My face must have been red. I felt embarrassed, but also like I was in heaven. Satoshi-kun stroked me. Oh god. I don't like the word stroked. Make me think of something. Make me think of other things. Satoshi-kun stroked me though petting a cat. I was blushing with my eyes closed. I felt helpless, like a girl being treated by the dentist with her mouth open and her eyes shut. Satoshi-kun didn't seem to notice my feelings at all. He didn't seem to care. I hate him. With my eyes closed, I waited for him to finish. He suddenly withdrew his hand.
じゃあ僕はそろそろ帰るよ。
Oh god, it's autumn. what happened to the screen? I need to get going.
おばさんに野球の帰りに買い物をしてくるよう頼まれてるから。
My aunt wants some stuff, so I have to go grocery shopping. Okay. My voice faltered. I was so embarrassed.
買い物なら
I'm going
私
shopping
夕飯の買い物。
too.
あれ
What?
ミオンも
Are
買い
you?
物するんだ。
You are?
お手伝いさんが全部やってくれるって言ってなかったっけ？
I thought the maids did all your household stuff. Shoot. I messed up. In the maid's Lucky house, the maids do everything. Therefore, Mion hardly goes grocery shopping, and she bragged to some people about that. I should have known better. Still, it wouldn't be too hard to find an excuse.
町に遊びに来るつもりでいたから、
I just
たま
have
には家事の真似事でもするかなって思って。
I just happened to be in town.
買い物を私が引き受けてきたわけよ。
So I thought I'd help out with the household stuff.
お分かり？
Is that a problem?
ミオンにしては珍しい
That
ね。
doesn't sound like you.
普段はそういうのめんどくさいって言って嫌がりそうなのに。
You always avoid doing boring stuff like that.
そういうのを余計なお世話って言います。
You talk too much.
頭撫で
Stop stroking my head! Satoshi-kun seemed to be having fun with how embarrassed I get when he patted me. Anyway, I managed to talk my way out of it. He didn't seem to really care about the details. While walking with Satoshi-kun in the shopping district of Kami Ishiki, it suddenly occurred to me. Why had I messed up? I know Mion would never go grocery shopping. What an amateur's mistake. Did I make that mistake when I was pretending to be Mion? No. I was probably speaking as Shion. I couldn't keep lying to myself. I just had to admit. It was simply because I wanted to spend as much time with Satoshi-kun as possible. It was easy to see why I was so attracted to him. I found something intriguing in my boring life, and I didn't have to feel tense because he thought I was somebody else. Etc., etc. His easygoing nature made him fun to be around, and his habit of petting people on the head was fun too. From these symptoms, I could tell I was embracing the feeling of love. I was just casually enjoying that feeling. It wasn't that I fell in love with him. I was just having fun. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, girl. I could simply spend some fun with Satoshi-kun without having to think too much. Oh, this music. Yeah, I heard this little beat in a minute.
ブロッコリーってどれだっけ？
Oh no! Is this thing genetic? Is this thing genetic? The Hojos can't tell what broccoli is?
緑だっけ？
The green one?
黄色だっけ？
Or the yellow one? Oh no.
サトシ君、そっちはカリフラワー。
That's cauliflower, Satoshi-kun.
サトシ君ってひょっとしてキャベツとレタスの区別がつかないタイプ？
Could it be that you can't tell lettuce from cabbage either?
それはひどいよ。
I'm not that bad.
これでも精一杯区別
I'm
してる
doing my
つもり。
best here. Satoshi-kun stared at the heaps of the broccoli and cauliflower. And thinking for a while, he reached out for the wrong one.
それ違う。
That's not it!
サトシ君の買い物は見ててハラハラしますね。
Watching you shop is like being on a roller coaster.
見てるこっちは楽しいけどさ。
It's a lot of fun for me though.
参ったな。
You got me.
サトコと一緒の時にも迷うんだよ。
Sadako can't tell the difference either.
ブロッコリーとカリフラワーは
Which is
どっちが
broccoli
何色だっ
and
け？
which one is cauliflower.
あんたら兄弟二人揃って面白すぎです。
You guys are too funny. Susa told me that Satoshi was a flaky big brother to his nagging little sister. I hadn't met Sadako, but she must be having a tough time dealing with Satoshi-kun. He stumbles over everything he buys after all.
それは調理塩。
That's cooking salt.
胡椒とか混じってますから卓上塩とは異なり
It's
ま
mixed
す。
with pepper. It's different from regular salt.
そうなの？
Oh, it is?
ほら、確か理科の実験で
I
塩と胡椒を分離するのを
I saw salt and pepper separate in a science experiment once.
言い訳はいいから棚に戻す。
Stop making excuses and just put it back on the shelf.
こっちが普通のお塩ね。
This is normal salt.
で、次は
What are you getting next? Oh, the little fade. You You're a great help, Neon.
買い物が楽で助かるよ。
サトシ君、頭良さそうに見えて社会生活に支障ありすぎです。
You look smart, but you have serious issues.
もう少しお勉強した方がいいと思います。
I think you should study more.
それはひどいな。
That's a little harsh.
あった。
There.
これかな。
Is this it?
ひょいひょい。
In it goes.
だからそれは違う。
That's not it!
何でもカゴに
Don't
放
just
り込
throw
む前に
anything in the
値段と
basket.
何人分かをよく確認す
Check the
る。
price and how many serving it is first. My first impression of Satoshi-kun was that he was strong and reliable. But the more I spoke to him, the more surprised I was at how clumsy and unreliable he was. How do I put it? It was hard to leave him alone. How could he do this to our boy? No, 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 no. He was dangerous on his own. He was careful. If he wasn't careful, he might start wandering. Do you cross the street with the... Do you cross the street when the light is red? Or was it green? And get himself run over it by a dump truck.
1780円になります。
Your total yen is 78.
スタンプカードはお持ちですか？
Do you have a member's card?
はい、
Oh, yes,
あります。
I do.
あれ、どこかな？
Where is it?
あー、すみません。
Ah,
ちょ
sorry.
っと見当たらないんで今度でいいです。
We can't seem to find it, so we'll be alright for today. I finished checking out, ignoring Satoshi-kun as he finished through his wallet full of receipts.
ひどいな、ミオン。
That was horrible, Mion.
スタンプちゃんと押さないともったい
You
ない
made me
よ。
waste points.
あんた、夕暮れ時のお買い物ラッシュの時にのんびりと財布を漁ってスタンプカードなんか探さない。
Don't go slowly fishing through your wallet to look for your member's card in the middle of the evening shopping rush. She has a point. Start doing that shit while you're in line.
後ろに大勢待ってるんだから。
Yes, especially when there's a huge line behind you.
私たちの後ろで海線山線のおばさま方が早くしなさいざますって。
Did you notice all the evil glares from all the old ladies? Fuck the old ladies. I'd be ready to I'd be ready to run up with my basket.
あのね、そういう時はレジ前に並んでる時からあらかじめ用意しておくの。
Listen, at times like that, you should get it out before reaching the register.
そうか。
Right.
いいことを聞いたよ。
That's good to know.
ちなみにここでのことだけじゃないですからね。
It's not only when you go shopping.
バスに乗る時もそう。
The same thing goes for when you ride the bus.
サトシ君、バスを降りようとして料金を入れる時、その時になって初めてお財布を開けて小銭をちまちまと探して後ろの人を詰まらせて待たせてるでしょう。
Satoshi-kun, I bet you don't open your wallet and start looking for the change until you're about to get off and have to pay while holding up everyone behind you.
みんな僕を見て
No.
勝手に料金
Everyone
決め
walks
るから
by me and pays their own fare.
はあ、
Ah,
それはね、
you know what that means.
すっごーく
You're being a
周りに迷惑をかけているのです。
super huge bother to everyone.
そういうのはあらかじめ用意しておくのがマナー。
You had to have your money out beforehand. That's just good manners.
わかりました？
Do you get it?
わかったよ。
Okay.
今日のミオンは怖いな。
You're scared today, Neon. Satoshi-kun smiled as if patronizing me. I couldn't believe it. He was definitely the type who made women want to protect him. Sure, he was fine as he was when he had a busybody like me around him. But I couldn't stop worrying whether he was able to function in society without someone like that nearby. We got plastic bags and sorted out what we bought. Satoshi-kun put a pack of tofu at the bottom of the bag. I slapped his hand and put in a milk carton instead.
はい、これで OK。
Okay, here we go.
これで台所で買い物袋を広げてお母さんに仰天されなくて済みますからね。
Your aunt won't freak out when she opens this shopping bag in her kitchen.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
助かったよ。
You helped me a lot.
僕はどうも買い物
I
が
don't
苦手
think
でさ
I'm very good at shopping.
買い物だけ
Just shopping?
正直におっしゃい。
That's definitely not the only thing. Um.
嘘嘘冗談。
Just kidding, just kidding. I had realized a few things while spending time with him today. He's not just bad at shopping. He's also chronically clumsy. And in general, you could call him a slow thinker. That meant when he stepped into the quarrel with the punks, he must have had needed a lot of courage. He might be a simpleton, but he's not stupid. He's aware of his weaknesses. So, he must have been aware of the danger in that situation. He could have chosen to walk away, even though I was in trouble. But he chose to be a man and stepped in. That was really admirable of him.
えらいえらい。
Good boy.
サトシ君は頑張ったよ。
You did a good job. Well, you did a great job.
いい子いい子。
There, there.
なんだよ。
What is it?
急に人の頭
Don't
を
stroke
ないでくれよ。
my head.
サトシ君が一人でお買い物ができましたでしょう。
I'm rewarding you for your shopping successfully today. Good boy,
Nade,
good
nade,
boy. There, there.
ミオン、僕
You're
のことす
making
っごいバカにしてるだろ。
fun of me. Aren't you, Mion?
してないしてないよ。
No, I'm not.
お家一人で帰れるかな？
Can you get home by yourself?
道わかる？
Do you know how to get there?
うん、
Mm,
やっぱりバカにしてる。
you are making fun of me. You can tell that her true personality is slipping out. But this is something that Mion would do. It feels a lot more like Shion. Satoshi-kun slowly faced flushed red. He's just too cute. At that point, I caught a glimpse of a billboard from the corner of my eye. Piano lessons, Skull XX. Upcuts class. Junior baseball team member wanted. There's a posting for the team Satoshi-kun belonged to. It showed the day, time, and place of their next practice. By then, I knew just how flaky he was. I figured he must be just the same with playing baseball. Satoshi-kun realized that I was reading the posting. He looked uncomfortable and walked away.
今サトシ君は思った。
I know what you're thinking.
頼むからミオン。
I beg you, Mion,
野球やってるとこまで来ないでくれよ。
don't come to see me playing baseball.
図星？
Am I right?
うん
Mm,
と
そのムーってのはつま
what
り
does
何
that
さ？
mumbling mean?
図星ってことでしょ。
I know, right?
うん
Satoshi-kun became quiet. After mumbling something. He seemed like he couldn't say anything back, since I had been right on the money. Satoshi-kun, you're just too cute. We want to take him home. I don't think going silent is a good way to dodge the issue. Well, that might have just been the way innocent people like him would react in a situation like that.
じゃあねサトシ君。
See you, Satoshi-kun.
暗くなりかけてるから気をつけて帰ってね。
It's getting dark, so be careful on your way back.
ミオンは一緒に帰らないのか
Aren't you going home, Mion?
ひなみ沢。
To Hinamizawa?
私はもうちょっと言うとこありますんで。
I have to make a stop somewhere first.
気にしないで先に帰ってください。
Don't worry about me.
僕の買い物を手伝ってもらったんだから。
I'll help you this
違う
time.
よ。今度は僕が手伝
In
う。
return.
あ
Not necessary, not
大
necessary.
丈夫大丈
I'm
夫。っ
okay.
ていうかサトシ君が何を手伝うおつもり
What are
で？
you gonna help me with anyway?
人の手伝いする前に
You should learn
自
to
分が
support
手伝
yourself
われなくて買い物できるようになっといてくださいな。
before you try helping me.
うん今日のミオンはひと
You're
きわ意地悪かな。
really mean today. And you seem to have some pride, at least. He looked a bit upset because he was teased by a girl, but in contrast, I felt very satisfied. As a result, I forgot to keep my guard up.
あ、でも手伝ってくれてありが
Thank
と
you
う。
for the help.
本当に助かったから。
That was sweet of you. While wearing a bright smile, Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head again. I know he's teasing me, but... Oh... I can't reject him. He keeps doing it only because he's realized I won't resist.
じゃあね、ミオン。
See you, Mion.
暗くならないうちに用事を済ませてね。
You should go home before it gets dark.
また明日、学校で。
See you in school tomorrow. Yeah.
また明日学校でね。
See you in school tomorrow. In fact, I wouldn't see him tomorrow at all. It felt awkward, but I had settled for that. I had to thank Sis for letting me know her name. For letting me use her name. After I separated from him, I found myself giddy and wishing to see him again as soon as possible. I want to know more about him. Can't wait for the next chance to see him again. Actually, maybe there was something I could do. Just like that, just like then, just like when I obtained my freedom from St. Lucia. I could choose to live my life. Whatever, it wasn't that complicated. I just want to tease him more. I want him to stroke my head more. And whatever. I already knew the schedule of his baseball team. And that's the break. That's the end of this part of the chapter. And this is where we'll be stopping for tonight. Dun, dun, dun. I love me. Oh no. Fuck. Now let's get this depressing thing out of the way real quick. A crumpled diary. Wait, what's the first one called? Let's go back real quick. The notebook's beginning, a smudged diary, a crumpled diary. My aunt finally stopped her hysterical screaming. Today was just like any other day. I can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was, she changed the subjects constantly. Anyway, it didn't matter. She went on past midnight again. The urge to sleep was pounding the back of my head. Once Sadako had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and started sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Sadako to the bedroom and laid her out on our futons.
ほら、サトコ。
Here, Satoko.
布団が敷けたよ。
Your futon is ready.
布団に入りな。
So get in, okay? Sadako crawled in like a worm. Aww. She stopped moving when she was inside. I wish I could go to bed too. But I couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get toothpaste after school tomorrow. Had to write it down somewhere. Had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. I set the timer. Right, I also had to reply the towel. I had to reply the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. My aunt will get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there was something else. I was working at the grocery store the next day. They wanted me to bring an apron. Do we even have an apron in this house? I'd never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping when I go to school, so I won't have time to ask her. What should I do? Since Mion helped me to get that job, I don't want to screw it up. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? She might lend me one. Was there anything else? I was envious of Sadako because she got to go to bed. It was pathetic that I felt that way. Aww, it's not pathetic, boy. You're allowed to feel envious. I mean, just don't let it control your life. Alright, let's save. Yes. Okay. Quick game. Yes. Ah, why does it keep showing up like this? uh, I forgot to let the Halloween thing up. I never had time to really sit down and play with OBS to change it. Should we change it back to our original thing? I think it's right here. Ah, there we go. Oh, this is weird. I haven't seen this thing in a while. Hello, my projector. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Alright, but that's it for the story for tonight. Thank you all for showing up. I really love you. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna do Dead Space. It's not set in stone, but I think I want to do Dead Space. I'm touch it in a minute. Then on Saturday, either Spider-Man or Blair Witch. One of those two, I'll flip a coin. But I need to go. I need to get some more work done before I have to go to sleep. Thank you, my friends, my goblins, my ghouls, my monsters, and all those such things. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.